Okay, so in this particular video, we're going to talk about antivirus software and firewall software to protect yourself from viruses, but also to protect yourself from outside attacks that are trying to get onto your computer. Now, if you don't know this, especially if you're using cable internet, you're pretty much sharing your line with everybody else who has cable internet. Now, with DSL, it's a little bit different, but you should still protect yourself. So, if your computer is connected, let's say, to a router, your router has a firewall as well. But you also want double security or as much security as you can. Now, call me security paranoid, but I've seen a lot of security breaches and things like that when I was working as an IT support person that has really enabled me to educate the public. And so I hope that you can follow these videos step by step and protect yourself. Now, I'm going to move this window down here just a bit so you can see it, but you'll notice here that I've got Spy Sweeper here, I've got Avast, which is a antivirus software, and the free version is just as good, and I find that Avast is just as good as Norton. So the good thing about Avast is it's free. They do have an upgraded version. And I do have Zone Alarm here, which is a firewall, and Spy Sweeper, of course, here. And I do have a lot of other stuff here that's not showing. But I just wanted to move that down here so that you could see a little bit on the actual softwares. Now, when it comes to antivirus, if we go to Avast here, or if I go to Google and type in, see, it's Avast, free download, and I'll pretty much copy that here. If you type those exact words, then you'll find the free version of Avast. Avast is an antivirus software, and it's free, which is the nice thing. And the nice thing is it scans in real time. So a lot of times I'll be visiting a site and bam, Trojan virus gets plugged into my computer just by visiting a website. And when that happens, usually Avast will come up and I'll hear the siren. It says, Avast has detected a virus or Trojan virus. What do you want to do to it? So you can either delete it, you can, quarantine it. Quarantining viruses is typical for spyware and antivirus softwares. And what that does is it takes the actual virus or the spyware and it quarantines it so that the spyware can actually move. But this way, if you delete the virus, it can always come back. But if it's there quarantined like in a jail, then it's actually a lot better. So anyways, if that just flew over your head, the basic thing is all you need to know is that Avast is free and it's a good piece of software. And to download it, all you have to do is type in these keywords, go to the site, and it says download the free antivirus software, the Avast Home Edition. You do need to register if you want to have the Home Edition, but if you go ahead and download it and install it, it will run in the real time, which means that if you do get infected at any time, Avast will be there basically to protect your computer. And this is what Avast looks like, the actual real-time scanner. It can scan instant messaging, it can protect your network, it can protect your Outlook emails, for instance. A lot of viruses generally come through the email. As you know, you'll receive an email from a friend who didn't really send that, and it has a virus attached to it. Then you have Avast to protect you if you're using Outlook. And then you got a P2P shield, which is basically downloads in Standard Shield, and the Web Shield for when you're surfing the internet. So as you can see, it's very compact. You got internet mail as well. And as you can see, it pretty much protects many things. And the best part of it is it's free. And of course, that brings us to Zone Alarm. If I type in the words Zone Alarm free download, Zone Alarm has many versions of their product, and the initial basic version is a free version. And if you want to upgrade to the antivirus and things like that, you can do so. But just to keep it simple, if you notice here, if ZoneAlarm free, that basically brings us to their free version or their free basic product, which is what I'm running right now. Now, the nice thing about ZoneAlarm is that they do offer other things like PC tune-up, online backup, and things like that. And backing up your computer is very important too. So if you're not backing it up, and if you don't know how to back it up, go to the electronics store and see if you can purchase an external hard drive and basically copy the files from your C drive over to your external hard drive, just so if anything happens, then you have those files. And all the time that you basically put into creating your files or creating your project, so you always want to keep a backup of that. But anyways, getting back to firewalls. Firewalls is a necessity because it basically protects you. And one thing I've noticed is that a lot of programs you'll download, right? Some of those programs will try to reach the internet. But if you have a firewall that blocks, people from getting in and people from getting out, let's say, for example, it's a program that is trying to get out and maybe it's a bad program. And some programs need the internet, yeah, but some programs don't. So if you want to block a program from accessing the internet, you can do that with ZoneAlarm. And let me show you. If I double click on ZoneAlarm here, you'll notice that I just have the basic firewall security. But if I click on Program Control and click on Programs, you can actually see all the programs that are trying to access the web. And some of them don't need to access the web because they do slow down the computer, so you'll see the little X right there. So basically a firewall allows you to protect your system from programs reaching the internet if they don't have to, and programs coming, or viruses or people trying to get onto your computer that don't need to be getting on your computer. Now, of course, there are things like spyware, like I mentioned earlier, that can bypass your firewall usually because they can bypass it by using the browser. But if you have a spy sweeper or anti-spyware software, then you pretty much eliminate spyware, viruses, and a lot of other things. And of course, there's no 100% guarantee, but it does help you a lot more than if you didn't have any of these programs installed on your computer.